It was a real pleasure to talk to you yesterday, and I hope you don't mind me writing to you. I'm an artist and photographer, and in normal times I spend my days running arts projects and workshops and events. My real love is working with people to make pictures that tell stories. I particularly like to connect to people who may be stuck at home and don't get the chance to participate in activities they used to enjoy. I'm enclosing a self-addressed envelope, and if you like, you can drop me a line to tell me the kinds of things you enjoy doing. Love, Sharon. I stand by the back door. She's wearing her see-through visor, and as she's talking, she knocks it continually with her hand. "It's a bloody nuisance," she says. "I'll be glad when all this is over." It's a bit like a living nightmare. She tells me she just started to pull her life back together when COVID hit. She misses going to the day centre 1 day a week. It's really her lifeline. It's a thing she looked forward to the most. She loves to dress up when she goes there, and makes a big effort. She enjoys her clothes and jewellery and loves boots. She puts in a false bun, does her hair, which she manages to have coloured every 6 weeks. He greets me with a smile. I'm wearing the see-through visor and plastic gloves, which must make me seem odd. Straight away, he offers to make me a cup of tea. We sit in the living room, me opposite his chair at a distance. We chat easily, and the hour I'm there goes quickly. He's 95 on Christmas Eve. He's adapting to life without his wife, who died 3 years ago, but it's hard. I ask him about his routine. He says, "At 12 o'clock every day I pour myself a whiskey and have a small cigar, and I think, sod the world." I sit for an hour relaxing, and by 1 o'clock I'm ready for something to eat. She says, "I think this virus has got me worse. I was just starting to pull myself together. I'm very lonely. I'm also frightened a lot of the time. Oh, it's dreary. I hate this." We talk about how people are like dogs with different temperaments, depending on their breed. Everybody's coping with this in really different ways. When I ask her how she spends her days, she says, "I clean." She spends hours dusting. Every Saturday she bleaches the kitchen floor with a small bottle of Zaflora, cleans and buffs the lino to get a shine. Her father used to say to her, "They're going to put a packet of Daz and a wet cloth in your coffin," because she was always washing and wiping things down in the house. She said, "Do you know what I'm most petrified of at night?" "No, what?" I reply, thinking. Ghosts, bats, spiders. "It's the hedgehogs," she says. "There's hundreds of them scuttling around in the garden."
And we have just heard the very sad news that Captain Sir Tom Moore has died at the age of 100 after testing positive for COVID-19. That's according to a statement from his daughters Hannah and Lucy.
She tells me about her love of sewing, how she left school at 14 and has always sewn, making clothes and wedding dresses, though these days she forgets what she's doing. There must be over 30 bird feeders hanging from the tree by the window where she sits. Her daughter hung them there. She tells me she loves to watch them. I bring her a collage pack with pictures, words and decorative paper to cut and stick. One day, 2 carers from Bellevue came together and took her to B&M Bargains in Berwick. She'd saved up as much as she could, so she bought her grandson sweets, small toys and pyjamas, wrapped them up in 2 small boxes and posted them. She was able to see him open it at Christmas over the phone. It was like Christmas had come early for me, she said, going to be in bargains.
Well, earlier today, the Chief Executive of the NHS in England, Sir Simon Stevens, called for adult social care to be resolved once and for all. He said the pandemic had shone a very harsh spotlight on the care system, which needed urgent reform.
I would hope that by the time we are sitting down this time next year, on the 73rd birthday of the NHS, we have actually, as a country, been able to decisively answer the question, how are we going to fund and provide high-quality social care for my parents' generation?
I visit her in the afternoon. I know she's deaf, so I peer in at the window, hoping not to give her a shock. She's asleep in the armchair, which was what I expected. She's told me that though she sleeps through the night mostly, she still manages to sleep through most of the day too. I suppose it's because I've nothing to do and no one to talk to, she admits. She has rollers in. On Thursday she showers. I get back in the car and ring her, pretending I'm a few minutes away, then she has time to comb her hair. I know she likes to keep smart. She's pleased with the fabric paints and pieces of silk and the cards and coloured paper. You're keeping me busy, she says, with a smile. We chat on the doorstep for about 20 minutes. Within 5 minutes, she's telling me about the morning her husband died. He died peacefully while she held his hand. She didn't notice when it happened, but when the doctor got there, he'd already passed away. She wants to talk about it and the difficulties of the last few months. It's been very hard happening through the lockdown. She didn't get very much help. They had to stop coming because of COVID. She'd knit, and that helped her to keep sane. She says, he died of old age. Everything gradually just packed in. But he kept his humour until the very last moment.
Good evening. The Health Secretary has warned the new coronavirus variant is out of control as the UK records the biggest ever daily rise in infections. A new lockdown is coming in England. Scotland's will come in from midnight.
In a few hours, millions of people must stay at home to stop the new COVID spreading far and wide.
She says, I saw my daughter last Thursday, but she could only come to the window. She couldn't come in because she isn't in my bubble. It was all right, but it had a bit of an after effect the next day. Made me feel a bit sad afterwards. Thankful I could see her, but sad that I couldn't give her a cuddle. I ring, but she doesn't want me to go to the door. She's very worried about meeting up. I've noticed this a lot more recently. People are feeling very cautious, not wanting to take any risks. This time it's really affecting those that are already worried and alone.
Good evening. Another terrible moment in humanity's struggle to contain COVID-19, exacerbated by the extent to which it is evolving into new variants. Britain is in the grip of one of the worst outbreaks in the world. The good news tonight is that well over 6.5 million people have now had their first vaccinations.
She was crying when she opened the door. I don't know whether it was the relief of seeing someone or whether she'd been crying before. She tells me she's very sad and lonely. I'm very frightened, she says. She tells me she spends a lot of time crying. She said today, when I rang her, there's not so much laughter. People don't seem to laugh anymore. I like a good laugh. She pays £420 a month just for the carers, which is a massive chunk of her disability benefit. If she's very careful, she manages to break even, but she admits it's hard. Dear Sharon, it was good to hear from you. What a long letter. As yet, I haven't started the weaving or embroidery. My daughter sent up her socks to be darned. What fun! How lovely for you to see deer in the woods amongst the snow. A special sight. We're having such great weather for this time of year. Hope it stays that way. I'm fine. We'll send one of the carers to post this for me. Best wishes. She tells me, we don't have many shops convenient for me. I always have to ask for anything I can't get here. So I cope, or I just go without. I've not really missed life on the outside, as I do enjoy my letters received, and I like answering them.
Hello. Your call cannot be taken at the moment, so please leave your message after the tone.
Oh, hello. It's Sharon here, just ringing to have a quick hello, see how you're doing. Speak again soon. Bye. When I next ring, she tells me she's been feeling unwell since she had a vaccination. She tells me the thing she's most looking forward to is getting back to normal, being able to wear her Christmas clothes when she goes to the Bellevue coffee mornings. My dear Sharon, I loved your interesting letter. I enjoyed each gift so much. If only you knew the pleasure I received as I handled each. I did go to a class many years ago. One was origami. When you come, I'll show you the handkerchief folder painted by my mum's friend. She did the painting on satin. I look forward to you being able to come one day to reteach me a nice hobby. I write, I hope that this finds you well. I just wanted to say a little hello to you across the miles. I had hoped that by now I would have been able to come to visit again and bring over some bits and pieces for you to do, but at the moment we're even being told not to drive anywhere. Anyway, at some point I'll come and pester you again, and I'll also ring you. Just to let you know though, I am thinking of you.
The pride and gratitude for our carers has once again been there for all to see, but providing and paying for social care remains a colossal challenge.
The carers that work for ourselves and for the NHS have gone above and beyond, and I think there is now this recognition that they deserve better pay, they deserve better conditions, and we're hoping that that really sticks.
For decades, governments have promised to improve social care. The big question is whether COVID-19 will be the spur for real change.
Hello, Sharon.
How are you?
Not bad. Not bad, love. Oh, it's so lonely. Nice to hear your voice.
From the 8th of March, all children in England will go back to school. Residents in care homes will be allowed one regular visitor. Then look at the 29th of March, up to 6 people or two households will be able to meet outdoors.